With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Race Said Network back in action on Monday night. The American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series fires things off for week number 2 right here in beautiful Concord, North Carolina. Charlotte Motor Speedway hosting the Queen City Shakedown. And well, he ain't a queen, but he is the California kid, Doug Argabright, picking up the Premier Racing Setup.com poll award moments ago, posting the fastest time in qualifying. And well, since qualifying is already behind us, drivers making their way to their starting positions. Short field here tonight, only 12 drivers going to try to attack the track. This is the resurfaced 2025 version of Charlotte Motor Speedway, so you gotta be careful about the back ends of these trucks wanting to get a little bit light. It's a loose, tight feeling here. You almost feel like you got no grip until all of a sudden you seem to find yourself with more grip than what you need. We'll see which one of these truck drivers is able to manage their way to the end and walk away with the checkered flag. Newcomer, first time in the field with us here tonight. Behind the wheel of that 00 machine, Roy Hyde making his appearance here tonight. It looks like only one driver. Looks like the 51 machine of Nick Burlow having troubles getting through pre-race inspection. Race officials looking over the right rear. There's always that one guy, right? You know, always trying to test the limits and work inside of those gray areas. And there you go. The shock top number 51 machine hits the starting grid. And well, we'll get ready to send this thing off here in just a few moments. Waiting words from the boss man in the flag stand down to the pace truck, and we'll get these machines moving here tonight. 120 laps. The official race distance. Will we see overtime as we did last week at Talladega Motor Speedway? Will we see that here tonight from Charlotte? I'm going to say no. I think we're going to have ourselves some surprisingly long green flag runs here tonight. I think the looseness is going to spread the field out. But it's all about getting what you can get at the start, and on the restarts, we'll see if your front row can keep it there when they come back across the stripe at the end of lap number 1, or will they lose some positions? I don't know. Long way to go, a long way to find out, but looks like we are getting official word now. Pace truck starting to roll off. It will jump right into your starting lineup here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Starting inside row number 1 behind the wheel of the Gatorade 41 machine, Doug the California Kid Argabright. Alex Wiggins, too young to drink, but he's still sporting the Crown Royal at the front. He's going to start outside row number 1. Shock top machine of Nick Burlow going to start inside row number 2 with Jake Doffing to his outside. What about Nicholas Swing? Well, he's inside row number 3 with... we're just going to... Zach Miller. Great car, great logos. We'll see if you can't find out about that a little bit later. The Seaman Carlos Ramos himself inside row number 4 with Patrick Coro to his outside. Dylan Deeks and Alexander Pickett in row number 5, finishing out the field here tonight. The 00, Roy Hyde, and the 404 of Dave Gage. That's going to do it. Light field here tonight. They're going to roll off of 4, and we're going to get ready to set these machines loose for the first time here tonight. And green flag flies from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everybody plays nice through turns 1 and 2. Nice and easy down here in 3 and 4. Washing up the racetrack just a little bit is that 24 machine of Nick Burlow. He's going to get a little bit tight down there on the inside. Work up the top of the racetrack. Keep it heading in the right direction. Lap number 1 in the board. Your top 3 already starting to break away just 2 laps into tonight's race as lap number 3 jumps on the board. There you can see your top 3, Arca, Wiggins, Donfing, all working their way out to just about a half a second advantage over Nicholas Swing. Then Nick Burlow sitting in the 5th position. Zach Miller still running in 6th, Carlos Ramos in 7th, Coro and Gage with Hyde rounding out your top 10. Gonna jump back here to a little bit tighter of a battle. Gonna take a look here at that Celsius number 38 machine of Zach Miller. And whoa, problems in the back, problems in the back. We've got one into the wall. I believe the 8 of Alexander Pickett has caught some problems. The 16 of Dylan Deese with some issues. He was the truck hard into that outside wall. Didn't quite see what happened, but he is heading right to pit road trouble here tonight for the 16. So we're going to jump back up here as the drivers at the front starting to get a little bit of company. Nicholas Wing has been able to run down to your top 3. That's going to bring the 51 of Nick Burlow right along with him. Carlos Ramos is still holding serve in that 6th position. Patrick Coro, Miller, Hyde, and Gage finish out your top 10. Six laps in, drivers starting to get a little bit of a feel for the track, a little bit better feel of their truck. These guys are going to be able to pull upwards of, I believe, about 28 to 32 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight. So definitely going to have to keep their mind on those green flag pit stop scenarios. Looking to the inside now of Roy Hyde is that 38 machine of Zach Miller. Flirting with disaster, man. Whew, that 404 was close to that outside wall. 7 lap behind us, 8 goes on the board. We're going to drop that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Still close corners racing here. 8 laps in, still side by side down the back stretch. The 51 and the 97 going to go at it. Where I apologize, that's going to be the 91 and the 57 going at it. 4 positions on the racetrack. Roy Hyde right behind them. Zach Miller, Dave Gage. A battle from 6th on back, and whew, Dave Gage again flirting with that outside wall. Roy Hyde able to take up a position from Patrick Coro. Move Hyde, the double knot up into 7th. Gonna look a little further up towards the front of the field. What do you say we go up here with your race leaders? Doug Arterbright continuing to set the pace of the field. Alex Wiggins right there, still holding serve in that 2nd position. Dumping up 1 spot. Nicholas Swing up 1. Burlow going to drop back to the 5th position. So your top five, not really that far spread out. It's going to be about a second interval between your race leader and fifth place runner Nicholas Burlow. So a lot can happen right here still. A lot going on back with this second pack of drivers. Little bit of connection issues it looks like there for that 404 of Dave Gage. We'll see if that continues to plague him in his race here tonight. Almost looks a little super Speedway-esque here. Two very distinct oh my goodness. Two very distinct packs here. Not a lot of pushing and shoving, not a lot of jockeying for positions. They get a run, they take the run. There's not a whole lot of fighting over the positions when they do happen. There you can see Gage once again with a little bit of a blinky blink on the inside of the racetrack. Roy Hyde's going to wash all the way up to the top side. Great run out of 4 for that double O. He's going to keep the position for the time being. Meanwhile, at the front, looking to have that sports bath at the end of this thing. And when was the last time they had Gatorade in Victory Lane? It's not a question that I know the answer to. That's definitely not it. It's more of, can somebody help me with this useless knowledge? Still semi-single file here at the front of the field. Doug Argabright, your pole sitter here tonight, continues to lead. Alex Wiggins started outside pole position, sitting in the second spot still. Doffing and Wing starting to mix things up. That's starting to open up a little bit of a gap to those top 2 truck drivers. We're going to take a look here. As Nick Burlow, he's been able to run down 3rd and 4th just now. Somewhat of a moving roadblock. Really nowhere to go for that shock top 51 machine of Nick Burlow. And how about the spirit of the 16 of Dylan Deese? He could have easily called it a night here tonight after early damage, hard, substantial impact on the right side after pancaking the wall out of turn number 2. But Deese gets down there. He gets the crew to work on it. He's back out on the racetrack, listed 10 laps down, but you never know what might go down. A warrior fighting spirit right there with the 16. We'll see if it does any justice at the end. Alex Wiggins at the front took a little peek to the inside of Argabright, thought better of it here as they work their way through 3 and 4, back through the triangle, across the stripe at lap number 20 goes on the board. 20 up and 20 down, only 100 laps remaining here tonight in the Queen City Shakedown, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. 20 laps behind us, a sixth of the way through tonight's race. For those of you that love to do some math, for those of you trying to keep up with the fuel mileage, you can help me out throughout the year. If you're good with numbers, good with it on the fly, maybe you got what it takes to be a crew chief, but you gotta jump online right here with iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you think you got what it takes to tune these machines or get behind the wheel and mix things up with drivers such as those on the track right here tonight, pick it up and get to it with iRacing.com. I promise you, it beats blowing millions on real cars that you're just gonna put in the wall. Just saying. Just saying. Don't hate the messenger. Don't be mad at me. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Just look at Cletus. There you go. Perfect example. All the money and time in playing around with race cars doesn't mean you can get out there and do what the big boys do. One hell of a shot, one hell of a go at it, but yeah, let's not Cletus this thing here tonight. Anyways. Attitude down the backstretch. Arca still leading a hard charging Alex Wiggins. Nicholas Wing making some big moves now. Able to move all the way up to that third position. Going to leave Burlow behind. Jake Doffing starting to slip by the wayside. Carlos Ramos starting to run to him. Down Roy Hyde has separated himself from that secondary pack as well. So now it's a 4-car pack at the front, a 3-car mid pack, and another 4 back behind them. So 25 laps into the run here tonight, you're starting to get a feel of what your truck is going to handle like in the course of a long run. You know how hard you pushed it at the start of the race. Gonna be a good bit of information for a lot of these crews and a lot of these drivers. It's going to determine a lot of the strategy and how things unfold here for the rest of tonight's race. If these guys can get to about, if they can pull a 40 out of the fuel cell, man, that's going to be a 2-stop race. That would be it's doable. It's going to be tough doing it. It's always tough when you do it. There he is, stuck in the middle right now, trying to find a way to work his way through. Can this... sent it to the top side of the racetrack. Still a little bit loose as that 97. Not much going at the front of the field, but we will jump back up here, give you a little bit of a look as the 11 of Alex Wiggins starting to fade. Nicholas Wing going to pull into that second spot. Burlow going to sit in third now as Alex Wiggins trouble and drops back to fourth. Could that just be a sign of the tires maybe abusing those tires a little bit too much, trying to get to Arca Brighton, trying to make passes, all to no avail? The 11. Well, there it is, pit road. On to pit road, 30 laps into tonight's race. Alex Wiggins gonna pull the 11 to the attention of the crew. The 38 of Zach Miller gonna join him. Gonna leave this field a bit spread out, especially at the front of this field. Take a little look back here where the kerfuffle in action is at. Ramos at the top side, Doffing at the bottom. There's a 00 of Roy Hyde trying to get that Army bomber. Up and around. Will he do it? Will he get it? Makes the pass. Through the center of 1 and 2, Roy Hyde gonna pull off the pass, show a little bit of horsepower and prowess. Running that high line again. Hyde gonna go up there and run that Larson line here again. Side hustling. Hyde gonna pick up a position as Ramos gonna pull to pit road. Argabright, Wing, Hyde, Doffing, and Coro yet to make their first stops of the night. So we were pretty close here. We said 28 to 32 laps on fuel. Well, we got drivers to pit road on lap 30, 31, more than likely 32 and 33. Hyde thought about it, not going to go yet. Race leader Doug Argabright is onto pit road. New race leader for the first time here tonight, Nicholas Wing, going to take control of the race lead. Roy Hyde now sitting in second. Jake Doffing yet to make his pit stop, sits in third. Patrick Coro, Dave Gage remains out on the racetrack. So your top 5 is still to hit pit road. 24 down pit road this time around. Roy Hyde going to stay out. He's going to lead a lap. The 00 new race leader Roy Hyde going to stay out front here. And for those of you that don't know, Roy, very seasoned, skilled veteran here on iRacing. And if there's a guy that can break down some strategy in a very short time, it's this man right here behind the wheel of that 00, Roy Hyde, known to be able to get to victory lane. We'll see if he can do it in his debut. Heads to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he may be coming to pit road. And he's going to do so through 3 and 4. Alex Wiggins making his way by. And that 11 may have short pitted his way to the race lead. Gonna take a little look here at some of these pit stops. Doug Argabright with a slow stop on and off pit road. One of the fastest times on and off pit road, but one of the slowest pit box times. And that has, in the end, cost Argabright at least 2 positions for the time being. Patrick Coro going to lead a lap. Dave Gage going to follow suit and head to pit road with that 91 machine of Patrick Coro. Alex Wiggins going to work his way off of 4. No contest here. Going to easily make his way around through the travel and into turn 1 as your race leader. So for the first time here tonight, Alex Wiggins begins to put those laps led in his back pocket and a lap sooner than Burlow, but 3 laps sooner than Arca Bright, and that has turned into almost a 4-second advantage. That is a little over a one. What's that going to be? A 1.334 second advantage for those new tires. That's crazy. So a third of the way through tonight's race. Is that a third? Yeah, that's a third. Had to think about it for a second. That was bad. Third of the way through tonight's race, we're going to give you a little driver highlight and spotlight a little bit early here tonight, but what the hey? Started outside of pole position, now sitting in that top spot. Alex Wiggins, not a lot of way for him to go forward, but picked up the one spot he needed indeed, and he's gonna mosey right along the backstretch and down to turn 3 as your race leader. Nicholas Burlow right behind him, started in the 3rd position, currently sitting in the 2nd spot. Your Premier Racing Setup.com pole award winner. He started first. He led every single lap until the green flag pit cycle. Your pole sitter now sits in 3rd. Where's the man with the fastest lap of the race? Sitting right here behind the wheel of that 24 machine. He started in 5th, currently sitting in 4th. Nicholas Wing with the quick time here tonight, 30:32. Zach Miller in the 38 machine. He's been running right here, right around that top 5 all night long, starting in 6th, sitting in the 5th position. And we're going to rewrite history. New fastest lap of the race last time by Roy Hyde. Started in 11th. Now sits 4 spots up in the 7th position, a 30:29. Now the quick time here tonight out there on the racetrack, so be aware for that double O. Look for Roy Hyde to try to make a little bit of headway. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you with the driver highlights and spotlights. So as the race leader crosses the line this time by, we will drop that timing and scoring back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Live from Charlotte Motor Speedway, you're watching the Queen City Shakedown with the A.S.M.R. Truck Series. It looks like the 8 of Alexander Pickett slow on the racetrack, smoke boiling out of the back end of that thing. That is never a good sign. The 8 just looking to limp his way back to pit lane. It unfortunately will be an early exit here tonight for Alexander Pickett in that 8 crew. He will fall victim here tonight. Oh my. Gonna jump back out to, let's go, yeah, there you go. That's good battle to watch right here. Arca Bright gonna move into that 2nd position. Nick Burlow sits in 3rd. Nicholas Wing now gonna drop back to that 4th spot. 24 used a little bit of strategy coming to pit road. 1 to 2 laps later than the guys running in front of him, so Wing may have the advantage in the long haul, as we are about 14 laps in to this green flag run, so that tire wears is gonna start showing back up once again. Says we do have a battle for third and fourth on the racetrack. This is your closest battle on the racetrack. Let's head back to another battle here tonight. Let's take a look here between Dave Gage and Patrick Coro. And again, Gage just having some of those Magic Man moments. We'll see if he can count on his way to some sort of spider monkey finish here tonight. We'll see how it all goes down. I don't know. Awful long ways back as they run right now, just about a half a lap back is Patrick Coro and Dave Gage, so we'll see what happens with them. Still a long way to go. A lot can happen here. We're 10 laps away from the halfway point here tonight, and dominating this second green flag run, Alex Wiggins absolutely gone. Second and a half out in front of your pole sitter Doug Argabright, who is reeling him in slowly but surely. But I don't know, it may be just about too much to do anything about. Looking at lap times, looking at lap count, it looks like Argabright may be able to catch him, but it's not going to be very long after that Alex Wiggins is going to be hitting pit road. And that's going to force the hand of the 41 a little bit. That is going to force the hand of that 41 of Doug Argabright just a little bit. Does he want to play the same game? Does he want to allow Wiggins those 2 to 3 extra laps to build that gap again, or does he call it short and head to pit road, adjust his strategy to the one and only driver that's been able to stay out front besides himself? What do? Do you copycat? Or do you stick to your guns? I know what I'm telling my driver to do. I'm not going to tell you, but we'll see. We'll see if the strategy turns out to be what I think the right call would be in this situation. But there again, there's a reason why I'm in the booth and not still on top of the pit box. Mainly because they don't pay enough on top of the pit box. You don't even get free pizza. At least here, I get, well, I get to be with you guys. That's the true treat right there. Gonna keep it at that, but nonetheless, out of turn number 2, lap number 55, and here comes Doug Argabright starting to reel in Alex Wiggins. We will have a battle for the race lead. Nicholas Wing and Nick Burlow going at it for third and fourth. Bit of a ways back, sitting in that 5th position is the double O of Roy Hyde, up 6 positions from where he qualified. He is your biggest mover in the race and is your fastest. Well, oh my goodness. Not necessarily the fastest, but he's got the fastest lap. Roy Hyde with the fastest lap of the race, the 30:29. Once again, is that quick time. So we'll see if anybody's able to beat that. Argabright looking to beat the rear bumper off of that 11 machine to give him a shot. See what I did there? You see what I did? Give him a... Yeah, no. And actually, surprisingly, I've heard Crown Royal and Gatorade is not bad. I refused to try that or test that theory. So if there's anybody out there that's got that combination, let us know. Great battle here for the race lead. 3-lap pressure tires at the top side of the racetrack will prevail for that 41 of Doug Argabright, who will make the pass. The 11 going to try to get back to his bumper. Bottom of the racetrack, not going to make it out of 3 and 4. Back across the stripe once again. At the point, Doug Argabright going to take control of the race once again, and we are knocking at the door of halfway here tonight. What a run. Whoa, Wiggins wigging out a little bit inside of that thing, man. Put the candy bar down. It is not time to eat the protein bar. Just saying. And what's happened back here to that 97 machine of Carlos Ramos? He slid backwards into the clutches of Dave Gage. Patrick Coro out in front of them, sitting in that 8th position. So across the stripe this time around, or this next time by, we'll see halfway. And tonight's Queen City Shakedown, just 60 laps of racing remain here tonight for the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. And there it is. Pulling the trigger on the pit stop, gonna pit together. Doug Argabright and Alex Wiggins into pit lane. I told you. There it is. Sorry, having a little bit of a moment, but I said it was gonna happen, that these two were gonna pit together. Well, I didn't say it on air, but I gave a couple little nods over here to some of the production crew. Whoa, trouble coming to pit road. Trouble coming to pit road. The 51 all sorts of out of shape. That's going to cause some problems for the 38 as well. Oh, no. What could have been will not be. Big trouble coming to pit road for the 38 of Zach Miller. Big trouble coming to pit road for the 51 of Nick Burlow. Oh my. That does put Roy Hyde back out front once again. And now with this long extended green flag run, and with drivers having trouble coming to pit road, only 5 drivers remain on the lead lap. Hyde, Doffing, Coro, Ramos, and Gage still out there on the racetrack, still yet to make their second stop of the night. Making their way by to the inside, that will be Argabright and Wiggins, but that is just to get themselves back onto the lead lap. Roy Hyde still listed as your race leader, still yet to head to pit road for his second stop of the night. Trying to do some math here, trying to work the strategy that Roy Hyde may possibly be looking at here. And 36 laps into run. I don't see the math really mathing. Except maybe that third and final. Well, no, I think he's still going to be just a little bit short here. But maybe that third stop doesn't have to be so long, so we'll see how that all translates as the course of tonight's race continues to unfold. Race leader Hyde out of turn number 2, back down the backstretch, lap number 68 out of 120 in tonight's official race distance here in the Queen City Shakedown, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the Turn 3 Racing Network. And Roy Hyde staying true to the strategy, true to the numbers. First fuel run was out there for 36 laps. Gonna bring it in just a little bit shy of that this time by. Roy Hyde heads to pit road. Dave Gage, if he stays out on the track, and indeed he does, Gage gonna lead a lap here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Patrick Coro right behind him. The 91 has led a lap here tonight already. And we bring you back from your regular scheduled glitch. No, I'm just kidding. Dave Gage and Patrick Coro continue to keep the trucks out there on the racetrack. There you can see Roy Hyde falling off of the lead lap, but he should easily work his way back onto the lead lap with much fresher tires, and indeed he will. Look to the inside this time by. And Patrick Coro's had enough. He's going to head to pit road this time by. We're going to head back, look at the battle unfolding between Doug Argabright and Alex Wiggins. This is the battle for what will eventually become the battle for the race lead. Only Dave Gage yet to hit pit road. 91 of Patrick Coro getting back up to speed, back underway after making his second pit stop of the night. Wiggins and Arca throwing blows at the front of this field. Wiggins going to take control of the race. Arca going to look back to the bottom once again. They'll drag race nose to tail, side by side, multiple laps here tonight, and they continue to push each other and push the pace. Last time around, race leaders running a 31:36. That is one of the quickest times out there on the track. Only Roy Hyde turning in a quicker time with much fresher tires. I mean, we're talking about, it's going to be about 11 lap fresher tires for Hyde. He's running about a second faster than your race leaders, that double O. And he's going to start to pick them off fairly quickly here. Let's take a little look at the last laps for the drivers out there on the racetrack, and you can see some of them will reset their race leaders. 31:55, 31:57. You can look down there to Roy Hyde, 30:57, so a second faster than your race leader. Even Patrick Coro and that 91 Dave Gage, all under 31 seconds here. So they are going to enjoy a little bit of an advantage over the course of the rest of this run as we take a little look at the fastest laps of the race. As the race leaders continue to swap positions, Doug Arca going to move to the top of the board. But there you can see those quick times here tonight. And Roy Hyde with that 30:28.6 gonna take this fastest lap of the race. So far, we got to put a so far cap on it. We're just 40 laps away, though. These guys, if they're going to want to A, win tonight's race, or B, dethrone Hyde with that fastest lap, time is ticking. Time is running out. Drivers at the front continuing that battle. Arca and Wiggins continue to go at it, with Arca holding serve at the front of this field. And you can see Lieutenant Carlos Ramos trying to get himself back on to the lead lap. Ramos sitting in the 9th position, looking to work his way around your front runners and put himself on back on the lead lap the good old-fashioned way. And Ramos with about 8 to 9 lap fresher tires, so this should be a fairly quick move for the 97. We'll see if your race leader decides to put up a bit of a fight. It looks like Arca putting up a little bit of a struggle, not letting that 97 just go right around. Trouble now. Alex Wiggins falling back just a little bit here. And with the fuel mileage these two at the front have been running, looks like we're going to be eyeballing a pit stop here somewhere within the next, I would say, 5 to 8 laps. We should see your top two back on to pit road. What does that do for Nicholas Wing, who sits in third, kind of in no man's land for the moment? 3 seconds back from the battle for the top spot. Another 6 seconds back to the man sitting in fourth, Roy Hyde. Over 6 seconds from 9 seconds. I apologize. 9 seconds away from your race leader. That was over about 20 seconds. And Hyde has done what he needed to do. Nicholas Wing gonna come down pit road this time around. So that's gonna move that 00 back into a podium position. It's been a while since we've seen a debut from a race driver end up in a podium finish. But I did try to warn you. When we got problems, the 16 of Dylan D sitting sideways. And he's sitting sideways, but he ain't no Paul Wall, and that is not a parking spot, sir. So let's see what we can see, and let's head to the replay. See the 16 all alone here, working his way out of turn number 2. Truck's going to get a bit loose, and he's going to travel all the way to the inside, and I can all but guarantee you, big, heavy. There it is, big, heavy impact on that inside wall. Take another look at it here. There it is. Not a sight you want to see behind the wheel of the race truck, but there it is. Big, heavy, solid hit for that 16, and that's going to put us under caution for the first time here tonight. So with that being said, pit road open. We're going to step away for just a moment. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Been a minute, but back in victory lane. How you feeling after that? I'm gonna call it a doctor check and flag performance, man. Michael Street. How you feeling?
Dude, I am pumped. My heart was racing, probably faster than I was driving.
So
this last 15 laps or so. But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. I honestly, and it's true what like real drivers say. Like, you never know when your next last win's gonna come or your next win's gonna come, if it does, and I've been questioning that, and it's really good to get another one for sure.
Until then, my man, stay safe.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
All right, there you have the final words from the Salisbury kid. Well, not a kid, but getting it done. Just around the corner from the hometown here in Rockingham, North Carolina, Michael Overstreet will walk away with
Premier Racing
the third checkered flag in the
Premier
season
Racing
to come on.
Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today, and remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
and back live as promised, not missing any of the action. We are doubled up and ready to go. Base truck lights are off. Right at a fuel run to the end, so will we see him make it green all the way? We'll find out as they get back underway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. On the gas quick, Arca Bright going to take control of the race. There's Wiggins, but here comes Roy Hyde now into that third spot. Will he be able to fight for the race lead? He was able to fight from the back of the field all the way up inside the top 5 before that caution flew. Will your dominant duo have to deal with the double O? Big problems for Arca Bright. Oh my. Oh my goodness. I am not sure what happened there with Arca Bright. Let's take another look here. We're going to catch it a little bit late. Let's get back here. Let's watch it unfold here. See if we see any contact. Arca Bright just a little loose, corrects it. Oh man, just absolutely nails that outside wall. Everybody scatters, misses it. Eesh. That is that's a rough hit right there. So we went 85 laps without a caution. 2 quick ones here towards the end. Lap number 90 now underway. Big problems for your Premier Racing Setup.com Pole Award winner Doug Arca Bright may be left on pit lane. And that's how quickly some of these restarts can change the game. Just like that, a what could have been is a what never will be. Doug Arca Bright not gonna have an opportunity to cap things off with a race win here tonight. Absolute monster of a car out there. Proved had the speed, had led a good portion of tonight's race, but just now unfortunately relegated to pit road. We're going to take a look at the driver laps led count here. Let's take a little eyeball on it. There you go, 47 out of the 90 plus laps here tonight, so just about half of tonight's race led by that man stuck on pit road. Tough break here tonight for the 41 machine. We'll see if there's any splash into that Gatorade. In victory lane, they still got one bullet, but he's a little bit further in the back. There you can see 97 of Carlos Ramos. He's going to restart here from the 6th position. Third car outside lane. So the old moniker cautions breed cautions. Well, that was just what you call faith in fresh tires. Had the faith that the fresh tires were going to stick. Rear of the truck started to come around a little bit, an overcorrection. And again, it goes back to something we mentioned that these drivers were talking about during happy hour. That was that the truck feels like it's losing grip until all of a sudden it has all the grip in the world. And there you can see truck sliding out to the right side and just a little bit too much wheel back into it. Caught the grip straight into the outside wall, and the 41 of Arca Bright is on pit lane. So here we go, side by side, doubled up, pace truck down into 3. Pace truck lights are off, and we're going to go back green flag racing this time by. Should be right at about lap number 96-ish. So about 25 laps of racing to go for these drivers. Will we finish it off under green flag conditions, or will we be plagued by the pesky caution flags at the end? Into the restart zone they roll, on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Shot out of a cannon, man, up at the front of this field. Alex Wiggins absolutely takes off. 2-3 wide in the back with Patrick Coro going to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to pick up a position from Nicholas Wing. Now pulls side by side as a Ramos sets sail on the backstretch. There it is. Big move down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3. Carlos Ramos trying to make his way to the front. Not going to do it. Big impact with the outside wall for the 13 of Doffing. Doffing with troubles and into the outside wall. Now Roy Hyde sets his sight on your race leader. 25 laps to go, and caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway. We've got a caution, and I'm not seeing any problems. Carlos Ramos a little bit slow here. Let's take it back. Let's see if that's where the problems lie. Take a little look here. Three into one doesn't work. Contact between the 97 and the 24. More contact between the two trucks. 51 off of the racetrack. Back up into the side of the 97. And around you go. Caution flies for the third time here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll head back to the front with the race leader once again. So I tell you what, we've got ourselves a little bit of time. We need to pay a couple more bills, so we're going to step away for just a brief moment. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back after this brief commercial break. And back trackside as promised, not missing any of the action here tonight. Find ourselves under caution still for the third time here tonight from the Queen City Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Queen City Shakedown. And just like that, pace car lights are off. We're going to get ready to go back green flag racing this time by, and we're going to have about, we're going to call it 19 to go. So we'll double it up for what may be the final restart of the night. Gonna have a long train of trucks on the inside. Front row. That's Wiggins and Roy Hyde, Zach Miller and Patrick Coro in row 2. Dave Gage, Nicholas Wing in row 3 for the restart with Burlow and Ramos in the 4th row. Jake Doffing gonna finish out the 9 trucks still out there on the track. I apologize. Alexander Pickett still out there running, still trying to pick up some positions. Pace truck in. Here we go. About 20 to go. On the gas. Green flag flies. Come on, we were close. 21 laps to go here from Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Alex Wiggins takes off on him. Got the field sleeping. Pulled the covers over him and zipped up the sleeping bag, man. It's going to take Roy Hyde an entire lap and some just to try to reel back in that 11 in some sort of striking distance. So now with just 20 to go, 30 laps, 30 miles, I should say, of racing remaining in front of your American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series drivers. Slinging it to the top side. I love it. I love to see when drivers aren't afraid to go up there and just about beat the boards. Let's take a look at the line from Roy Hyde. Let's take a look at the line from Patrick Coro, Zach Miller, and that 38 machine. Burlow now forced to run that inside lane, but let's take a look at the line of that 00. There it is into turn 3, much higher than the rest of the field. There you can see the 38 of Zach Miller also pushing the limits on that high side. Nick Burlow and Dave Gage going in at 4 position behind them. You can see that 00 trying to keep control of that high line, not allowing that 11 to drift up there just before the corner entries and take the air off the front end of that 00. We'll take a look at it once again right here as they go through the triangle. 17 to go, and now the 11 trying to dump a little bit of air on the front end of Hyde's truck as they get into the corner entry. That's going to allow the 24 to get a little bit of a run to the inside. Nicholas Wing right here trying to work at the wheel. Sitting in the 3rd spot for the time being. Roy Hyde going to head back to the top side of the racetrack. Loose at a 3 and 4. He keeps it out of the outside wall, but he does fall back just a little bit now with just 16 to go. No shortage of action here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. My goodness. Action at the front, but let's not forget about the action right here 5th, 6th, 7th on the racetrack. Patrick Coro, Nick Burlow, Dave Gage, they're running for position. There you can see 38 of Zach Miller not too far in front of them. Big gap up to that top 3, though. Field is going to be hard pressed to reel them in, so it may be a battle between these 3 for those positions on the podium. And it looks like Miller, Coro, Burlow, Cage, and Dopping being dealt best of the rest for the time being. Things getting a little bit tighter at the front of the field. There you can see now that 24 really starting to work the inside of the racetrack. Back down to the inside. He'll pull even with Hyde through 3 and 4. Wiggins with a 2-3 truck advantage now out of 4, but Hyde will prevail on the high side of the racetrack. He'll keep the 2nd position. The 4 drivers behind him have begun to race single file, so that very well may help their cause at trying to run down these race leaders. But the top 3 for the time being, 1.3 seconds in front of that train of trucks being led by Zach Miller. And again, Roy Hyde going to float his way to the top side of the racetrack, trying to find some air, trying to find some grip, trying to find a little bit more out of that double O. "15 miles of racing remain, just 10 laps to go here tonight at the Queen City Shakedown. You're watching the A.S.M.R. Truck Series. It's season number 13 here for the A.S.M.R. Truck Series drivers. Been a long-standing partner with myself as well as the Turn 3 Racing Network, so a big shout out to everybody back at the American Sim Motor Racing League right here on iRacing.com. If you're looking to mix it up with some of the best in the business, give yourself a chance and a shot out here on the track. Hit them up on iRacing.com. See if you got what it takes to run with the greats. Also, another big shout out to PremierRacingSetups.com, the world's well, it might as well be the world's #1. It is the longest running standing setup shop for iRacing.com. It is not all about just the setups. If you're looking for a little bit of coaching, everything from dirt, asphalt, oval, all the way through road course, it doesn't matter if it's open wheel, they got something for everybody. If you're looking to find a tint or two, check them out, look them up. Once again, that's PremierRacingSetups.com. Always thankful for Butt Kicker, putting the feeling beneath your feet. Feel what you've been missing with Butt Kicker. I just always loved having Butt Kicker as a sponsor. There's just something about being able to yeah, you know what? Anyways, back across the stripe, 6 laps to go here. Alex Wiggins opening things up just a little bit, about a 4 truck length advantage over Roy Hyde, who's got two trucks over the 24. Big gap back to the 38 machine of Zach Miller. And Patrick Coro Nick Burlow, Dave Gage, they're still fighting it out for 5th, 6th, 7th here tonight. Just 4 to go this time by the Crown Royal number 11 machine of Alex Wiggins, focusing in on a checkered flag performance. Looking to spoil the show, the driver right behind him. Debut night for that 00 Roy Hyde from the back to the front, up 9 positions from where he qualified and started tonight's race. Hyde sitting in second, looking for more, and we got trouble. Oh no. Ramos slow on the track, and that is going to move us into overtime. There is trouble late here tonight. Oh my, let's go check the replay. Let's see what happened with Ramos. Catching it a little bit late, but some contact between the 97 and the 13, and ooh. That's gonna, yeah. That's never good. Squarely on the front end of that Gatorade 97 machine, and a little something about sports drinks tonight. Neither one of them having a good night. Doug Argabright relegated to pit road, still fixing on his machine. Now big problems for the second Gatorade sponsored truck here tonight. Carlos Ramos gonna have some problems, and pit road opens, and everybody gonna come to pit road. Interesting to see the entire field decides to hit pit lane. And this is gonna be a green-white checkered finish. So what do you do here, 4 or 2? Battle off pit road. The 11 going to win the race off of pit road easily here. 91 of Patrick Coro. He's going to have a quick stop, 2-tire stop for that 91 machine of Coro. He's going to get off of pit road second here tonight. Roy Hyde off of pit road in third. Nicholas Swing going to roll fourth. Burlow, Miller, Gage, and Doffing all off of pit lane. Everybody with fresh tires, but the 2 at the front only took 2. We're only going to have ourselves 2 laps to go to the end of this thing. So will the 2 tires be enough to get him through the 2 to go when the rest of this field, starting from row number 2 behind him, all have 4 fresh tires? You know, that is a tough one. That's a tough one for the crew chief too, because if you don't come to pit road, I mean, now you've got a field full of fresh tires all behind you. Even the guy with 2 tires should theoretically be faster. It all then boils down to, can you gap them at the start? Being the control truck, you have that advantage. I don't know that Wiggins needs any help. I don't know if he needs any assistance, but he might want to hold the hand of Lady Luck 2 tires, 2 laps to go in overtime. I don't know. I like the 4-tire call from the drivers sitting in that second row, third and fourth row as well. But we'll see if the crew chief made the right call. We're going to find out, that's for sure. Pace truck in. We're going to drop the hammer, nail the loud pedal on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Great start on the outside. The 91 does not get going. That's going to bottleneck the 00 of Roy Hyde on the inside. Now Nick Burlow looking to the top side of the racetrack, and Hyde's just going to push the bejesus out of that 91 a little bit sideways. Now Hyde contact with Gage, more contact in the back. Meanwhile, at the front, clean and clear is the 11 of Alex Wiggins. Patrick Coro, Nicholas Wing into the outside wall. Big move by Coro to get the second. Here comes Nick Burlow to third. White flag flies. Final lap here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City Shakedown, and nobody gonna shake it loose from that 11. Alex Wiggins gonna easily come away with this one after a bit of a chaotic restart. Alex Wiggins through 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. And that's gonna do it at a 4 and across the stripe. Your race winner here tonight, behind the wheel of that 11 Crown Royal Machine, Alex Wiggins will take the top spot. What a night, what a run for a handful of these drivers. Unfortunately, Hyde with a great run, things got out of shape, out of whack, and well, there's a whack or two for you. Well, you know, GameStop and whack-a-mole go hand in hand is what it is. And, race winner here tonight at the end of 124 laps. Alex Wiggins will make his way to the front stretch for a bit of a smoke show as we get set and ready to go for our post-race show here tonight, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to see if we can dial up and have a few words with a handful of these drivers here tonight. And enjoying himself down there on the apron with a bit of a smoke show with 38 of Zag Miller. Alex Wiggins continuing to enjoy himself. And with that being said, we're going to see if we can't dial up and have a few words with a handful of these drivers here tonight. Let's see if we can't first pick up and find out what the man behind the wheel of that 91, the man behind the wheel of the 91 machine, Patrick Coro, finishing in second here tonight. Patrick, how you doing, man? How you feeling after a solid run?
Well, I didn't think I'd be talking to you here 2 weeks in a row with both places in second, but here we are. Honestly, it was that last caution gave us the opportunity to take 2 right side tires, try to jump the field, and then just hold on tight because apparently the chaos was all behind us.
Yeah, there was a little bit of chaos towards the end of tonight's race, but, you know, nothing egregious, that's for sure. A little bit of definite chaos at the end of this one, green-white checkered kind of scenario, so, you know, things get a little bit tight and chaotic all in unto itself. But you mentioned back-to-back second-place finishes. Although it isn't those race wins, you got to be happy with the consistency to start the season, because after all, there is no chase. There is no win in your end. So, I don't know. I think I might like the nod to the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see the consistency for sure. I didn't feel like we had the consistency here for part of the night, but, you know, sometimes you just got to take the cards you get and play the hand you're given. And here we are. And I think my napkin math says I might be even leading points after this. So let's cancel the whole series now. I'm going to pull a Doug and say we're done. So that way we can just call it good here.
Well, all sales final. No, I'm just kidding.
No returns, no take backsies, no.
Man, but on a serious note, a heck of a way for you to start the season. We got a little bit of a ways to go, so we hope you can continue this trend. But before we let you go and enjoy this finish tonight, shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
Well, your face is on the front of this truck here tonight, so got to thank you for doing everything that you do on the broadcasts and making this exciting for everybody to go and watch live and watch back in the future. Of course, got to give a shout out to our Frost Buddy partners. Once again, we're going to be giving away that Frost Buddy there at the end of the season to the champion. And as I always do, the love pit. Nothing wrong with adopting your next best friend.
That took a second for it to register in my head. I was like, wait, we can't. Okay, never. Okay, and now I get what he said. Never mind. We're good. We can say that. I'm not going to be in trouble after all. Okay. All right, we're
not
good.
Getting canceled. Don't worry. If you just take a close up shot of the dogs on the side of the car, you're fine.
Right. Well, Patrick, again, man, congratulations on a great run. And until next time, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Awesome. Thank you, bud.
All right, there you go. A little bit of cut up in the post ratio from the driver that just walks away. Second here tonight, the 91 machine of Patrick Coro, starting the season off right. And no, that is not Nick Burlow, but we're going to go grab a word or two with the man that walks away third here tonight, the Shock Top machine. Man, Nick, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a lot of ups and downs tonight, but that's how it goes when you haven't raced anything oval-wise in about 6 months. I think probably the last time I talked to you was the last time I ran one of these things.
Well, the last time I talked to you, I still hadn't run anything for about, I don't even know how long, man. It's been a very long time, so I can understand that. But, man, hitting the track with some good action here tonight, some good battles out there, a little bit of chaos towards the end of tonight's race, but nonetheless you were able to navigate your way through. How you feeling about being back, really?
Oh, I'm excited. Finally get the new season underway. Got a little extra time on my hands on Monday night, so it's a fun way to spend it.
Well, man, congratulations on your return, walking away with a podium finish once again. So you know the drill. Mike is yours.
I just want to say thank you for the broadcast. Look forward to going back and rewatching parts of it. And it's a big shout out to the guys here. Always fun to race with them. Always fair, clean racing for the most part. Always a blast.
All right, my man. Well, again, Nick, congratulations with a great finish here tonight. Until we can talk again, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Have a good night.
All right, there you go. Final few words from the man walking away in third here tonight, finishing right where he started. A lot of battles for that 51 to go through to finish in that third position. So shout out to him and his entire crew, keeping him in the mix all night long. But let's now head to victory lane, to the man that's passing out all the liquor because he can't drink it yet. Man, how long are we gonna do this?
How long are we gonna do what?
Can you can drink now?
No.
How long are you gonna drink water in victory lane instead of liquor, man? I mean,
I'm not good at math. It's
out.
3
Okay,
more
look,
years? 4, 3.5.
Just stop talking. Gosh, jeez. Oh my! Do you realize how old you just made me? I mean, I was already that
Not as old as
old.
Dave.
You know what? I'll wait, but I'm still Dave. So.
No, but Cookie Dave is older than you. It's close.
Okay, the cookie mode. Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about? See what happens in your old age?
We raced, and it was fun.
Well, fun for some, fun for you for sure. Walking away with the race win, man. You had a lot of battles out there with Doug early. He had problems on a restart. More battles after that with Roy and Patrick towards the end there, man. How were you able to fight everybody off and just keep focus?
I'd say my biggest strength is always restarts, even though I love green flag racing. But I was happy with second. I knew I could battle with Doug, but I knew he could get the long run speed on me because he's so good with tires. But I wasn't happy when he, of course, wrecked, because that kind of took the kind of fight chasing him away from it, of course, when he wrecked. But the last little bit of the race was just playing defense, trying to manage my tires while going fast, and I don't know how, but it worked out. And I don't know. There's no words for it. It just the cards fell into my hand, I guess.
Sometimes it just helps to be at the right place at the right time with a fast ride, and you did that here tonight. You were quick all night long. I mean, you started on the front row. You're going to finish in first, so you brought it home pretty much where you should have been to begin with. So congratulations on just a great night under the lights here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, though, Alex, you know the drill. Shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
It's been a while, but still just you guys and everybody that shows up. I know we got a couple new guys. A lot of them had good runs today. All the admins for, making this show happen. Yeah, just a fun place to come race every Monday now. It's different, but it's still fun.
Different, but still fun is the same, but another season. It's, you know what? I had something and I lost it. And that's not from old age. That's just from not thinking it through properly. But anyways, that's all. You know what? Alex,
that's where my talking part went. It went all over the place. I get it.
Yeah. You see how it happens sometimes? It just, this is why people love live broadcasts, because you can't make this up. You just can't. So yeah. With that being said, congratulations, my man. We'll see if you can do it again next week.
I sure as hell hope I can.
All right. Well, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Well, losing my way with the words at the end, but he never lost his way to victory lane. Alex Wiggins is going to walk away from Charlotte with the top spot, checkered flag in hand. And that is pretty much going to do it for us. So we're going to roll up the lights. Cut off the cords. Flip that and reverse it. But let's jump to your unofficial race results here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Walking away with the top spot, checkered flag in hand to the 11 Crown Royal Machine of Alex Wiggins. Patrick Coro in second, with Nick Burlow sliding in third. Fourth place belongs to Nicholas Wing. Zach Miller picks up fifth here tonight. Dave Gage sliding home in sixth with Jake Doffing. And Carlos Ramos in eighth. Ninth place tonight to Roy Hyde, Alexander Pickett, Doug Argabright, and Dylan Deese. Finish out your 12-card field. That's going to do it for us here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to the American Sim Motor Racing Truck Series. Before you go, show these drivers some love. Drop on the thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell. Over there at the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. With that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.